Let's go. The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock. Let's go.
We are done here.
He says, adjusting his glasses as he looks out over the water. The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there's someone inland waiting for you. 2 men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer. The sea is calm. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff. Okay. So there's people waiting for us, I guess. Harry, we're here because we're worried,
Look what the tide brought in.
says the man without the sunglasses. Suddenly his expression changes and he tilts his head.
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Forget about all this. There's a giant... No one else seems to be bothered by the bleeding.
Bothered by it? Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant. Fuck it. Let's not get into that.
He takes a deep breath.
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
He points at you with both hands. Who are you people?
Hello, Trent Heilerstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Comar. And this is your special task force.
He says,
Or what's left of it.
gesturing toward his companions.
Special Consultant Trond Heidelstam, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
I just realized the volume's kind of quiet, so I'm going to turn it up a bit. There. You can hear some of the music better.
We might need your help with something later.
He adds, suddenly regaining his confidence. As if he's recalled that he's, in fact, a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
No, Kim, you gotta have my back. Let's destroy them. Thank you, Lieutenant.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
She says warmly, flashing the Lieutenant the tiniest of smiles. Letting the Lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the stuff storm that's about to befall you. What's this about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent. It's too late. You're part of this shit now.
He turns to you.
What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets. How did you know I was here?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
Turn to face the adrenaline of whirling and yell, "Dang you, cafeteria manager, you betrayed me for the last time." I saved his establishment and he still betrayed me?
Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look saved at all. There was a giant aerograffito in front of the building. It was on fire.
This was one junior delinquent.
I don't know. It had shit kid written all over it.
You aren't the man in sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde.
Guilty as charged. I heard you lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true.
He exchanges a look with the special consultant.
And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on.
Actually, I suspected something was off.
Did you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You don't remember.
He adjusts his sigh. He's right. Don't start guessing now. It's not a good time. You never told me you're not the horse-faced woman. That's rude. Trent Heidelstam. Turns out to be special consultant Trent Heidelstam.
Yes, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I never said I wasn't Trent Heilerstein.
What was up with the kid then?
Mikhail? Mikhail's my son.
His son? What a joke. Everyone is lying to you. Oh yeah, where the F is your son now, special consultant? Oh yeah? What's up with all the interesting history? Spying on me? Oh, okay, sorry.
No problem.
Authority special consulting here.
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He looks at the dilapidated shacks and then you.
He's here to see if you're insane. He's smart. Let's move on.
Duped again. No one knows who they say they are.
Yeah.
Oh, you mentioned a
Major
task force?
Crimes Unit under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Yeah, totally, I get it.
He doesn't remember.
See? He really doesn't remember. It wasn't a sick joke. At least that's good.
Yeah, that's very good.
Wait.
Yeah. Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn major crimes unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trent fucking Heidelstam, and Guillaume Bevy.
He stares at you.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
Yeah, first who's Guillaume Bevy?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually.
He's not smiling.
Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Trent, because I'm forcing him to stay.
Okay, so what does the unit do?
Do? It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We're shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
The 41st isn't.
He trails off, not wishing to finish the sentence. Duped again.
Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk, and you won't be duped so easily.
Tim, at least you are who you said you were.
Yes, I'm still Kim Kitsuragi. Still a lieutenant in Precinct 57.
Still caught up in this crossfire, too. Where have you been all this time? There is a mercenary tribunal.
God damn it, Harry.
He shifts his weight, crosses his arms, and looks at you in the eye.
You told us to fuck off. You said we are cramping your style. You're detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die.
Wait, so you just let me face a squad of trained killers alone just to teach me a lesson?
It wasn't like that.
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we?
Why didn't your detector die then?
Oh, you think it was cool? You saying that? Aesthetic somehow? You were crying when we got here. Breaking things. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss, so we fucked off. Like you told us to.
None of this is ringing any bells.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trent.
He
this
turns
is
to the
where you
blonde.
come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic. As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Wait, socioeconomically? You think I'm so poor I lost my memory?
Not when you phrase it like that. But I don't think critical theory. I know everyone thinks this is far-fetched pink academia, but still, I don't think it should be off the table here.
What? He lost his memory because of capitalism?
No, not like that. I'm not talking Vrede for school here. But Harry, I asked you, what do you think happened?
Drank so much I lost my memory. Made it all up. It was a fantasy, a stupid joke. It might have been something to do with the anomaly in the church. Something so sad happened to me that it couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism.
Psychotraumatic amnesia? Trent? I can go for that. Shit, kid is a broken man. Always has been. Who isn't? I know I am. But you know what?
He turns to the special consultant.
I keep my shit
Turns back to you.
together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind, however traumatic it gets. That doesn't happen. You're lying, or insane, or both.
But Detective Vigmare, he has blanked out before.
Yeah.
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
She pauses, remembering. The two cases in your ledger, the Insolvable case and the Next World mural, those were recent. Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here.
He just destroyed the scenery.
Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market.
He nods confidently.
What is needed for its end.
Okay, Trant, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a crétin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
I'm ready to lead again.
No one even mentioned that.
He looks at you and then at Trent.
I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the potty? Or do we need to get him on the disability pension?
What now?
Now, nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that.
He points to the water.
What the fuck did you do to our motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
Hold on, in the ocean? The time had come. Tequila sunset.
Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho.
He grabs his stomach in
Tequila
mirthless
sunset,
laughter.
Not sunrise because you're almost dead. So funny, Harry. Thank you for fucking me. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of my payslip. You know that, right? You're gonna get fired. And I'm gonna pay till I die. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
He exclaims. He exhales to calm his breathing. What I do have is this futuristic armor. I got my badge right here. He squints at it suspiciously, trying to ascertain if it's not just a blue candy wrapper or a piece of vinyl.
Okay. And your gun?
Finally, he nods, unimpressed. Gun. Just repeat gun. Wait, how did you know I lost my gun? My gun is right here. I upgraded my gun to a rifle.
Phew, he has it. I thought it was in the ocean. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
He wipes his brow in mockery. So does it even matter that I found my gun? I quit drinking forever. It's only me in this boring hellhole now.
I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then, huh?
He's wounded.
Looks at you.
It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
No idea what you're smelling. I washed death off of me. Wait, maybe it's because of the pheromone. Yeah, I handled an actual corpse.
Detective, please. Don't start talking about your pheromone again. This is serious. If you don't...
She doesn't finish the sentence. Then you'll be fired. This is a hearing. Toughen up. I smelled the death off of me. The man doesn't reply, but his expression speaks for him. You could have done a better job, is what it's saying. Yeah, I've handled an actual corpse.
I don't believe you. You're drunk. You let a suspect escape, a certain glacier, because you were too drunk to assess our flight risk.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuragi's. We know.
She wasn't going to smile at the accidents, classically trained. Not taking her in was the right thing to do. She gave a vital clue that led us to the island. There's just a small detail in a huge case you know nothing about. That doesn't matter, none of it does. We are looking at the oxygen holocaust times a quadrillion. I've come to know the final fate of the man in the universe.
Oh well, if she was nice.
Rubs his face in
I'm
frustration.
not even gonna get into the other suspect, who also escaped. Yeah, Ruby something, or the fact that you're Evrard Claire's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That small-time stuff, that's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 7 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
Yeah, that was really bad.
He did everything he could.
The lieutenant interrupts
We
him.
did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
Yeah, what he said. I also saw the case. It solved all of it. Yeah, it was a massacre. We got away. Where the heck were you? The firefight is a trivial matter compared to this great discovery of the century.
Detective, it's better if I do that.
He says in a lowered voice.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He brushes a strand of stray hair out of his eye and coughs.
You spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well,
Pulls up his
the
collar.
drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the superstardom. He likes to, from time to time, allude to being a superstar law official. At first I thought it was a joke, but
No, I'm not so sure.
He says disco about 20 times a day. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class.
Oh no.
Which, again, for
Kim knows I'm a communist.
is a little odd. Other still, he is also an ultra-liberal hustler who is always on the grind. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, I don't know. But he is vocal.
It's
about
like
both
his political views don't even make any sense, but whatever. Oh man, that's so funny. That's freaking hilarious.
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, and the drugs, of course. Some kind of anti-radiation drug he uses to induce visions.
He breathes in sharply.
But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen, in fact.
Yeah, so he's a communist and ultra liberal and is on drugs all the time. He doesn't drink though, and he says disco 20 times a day, but he's a great detective.
He can talk human beings into telling him everything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which by the way was a valiant effort.
Oh, thanks,
He really
Kim.
sang his heart out.
Yeah, I did. I sang my heart out.
Yeah, it was what it was.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation.
Oh yeah, that's us.
He apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years,
Mhm.
ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species,
A new species.
Uh-huh.
a colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo and shows it to the officers across the yard. Thick white snow falls all around you. Flakes stick to the glossy photo of the phasmid. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Boom shakalaka, mother effer. So as you can see, I'm pretty okay detective and an absolutely giant communist.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
The man cranes his neck, still looking at the photo.
Detective?
He turns to you. Boom. Boom, boom. Yes. I believe the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation.
The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, He fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
He points to the photo.
Yes, it really does make it hard to fight out the drunk.
His tired eyes follow the photo as the lieutenant puts it away. That is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Him. I also started a nightclub in the church. Also, the Fat was a female. The Reeds are its nest.
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
He turns to you. It had gathered items in its nest. A helmet, a scope, and a passport. I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis. I think it emits a chemical that makes it look even more like the reeds. Its nervous system may be stored in its long limbs.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, we don't know, and obviously, like, I don't know if the voice of the phasmid would give us a clue, because in human form, that's like the higher pitch is typically for female, but
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it.
yeah.
It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs.
He pauses, turning something over in his head. I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
It told me.
Mm-hmm.
Ignores your answer.
Then it wouldn't matter if it's male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation. Very interesting.
He looks around, quickly assessing the
Such
coast.
organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
That makes sense. If it's, because if there's no crossbreeding, then there's less genetic variance, right? So it's easy to, like, because they'd all have, like, very similar genes in the line of, reproduction. In his mind, he's already planning a nature preserve and knows a good guy for that. I think it emits a chemical that makes it look even more like the reeds.
Yes. That would be a chiromone. A pheromone that's seemingly beneficial to the host. It usually stimulates the affected nervous system. Not a human's, of course, but perhaps a predator's.
The perpetrator seemed intoxicated somehow, like an addict. Just a hunch, but...
There are species of bees that, under the influence of chiromones, take wasp larvae to their hives. Ants do the same with aphids, thinking they're...
He stops.
Do you think this is how it stayed hidden?
Nothing is off the table. But I want to stress this. The find does not have to be connected to the case. The case is 100% prosecutable, without any chiromones.
Of course, Lieutenant, of course. We should treat the case and the phasmid as completely separate from each other. People are not going to.
He shakes his head.
They're not going to go for this speculation in the constabulatory.
Its nervous system may be stored in its long limbs.
Like the cephalopods? Phasmids, I think, only have nerves in their heads and abdomens, though. There is a correlation between invertebrate size and intelligence. Was it?
No, I wouldn't say it was...
He looks to you. Intelligent and behaved like an insect. It was a sensing entity. There was something there. To me, it seemed to have some character. There's a correlation between invertebrate size and intelligence. I mean, 3 is true, right? So that would make sense. It didn't really behave like an insect necessarily. I guess, like, in the way that was talking to us, there's nothing... Yeah.
At that size, this creature would have a lot of surface area to put neurons into. It's basic geometry.
Okay. It had mandibles that looked like hair, and it was completely white on the inside.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible.
He repeats,
The
turning to
female value of
Verkanamar.
this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest.
He smiles.
You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Without it,
He shakes his head. You're doing good here, perhaps only for a moment, but still. Quit while you're ahead, or no. The killer, we have a strong motive for him.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
The special consul's a reason I brought. A matronym.
The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
thank you, Trond. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
He turns to you.
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy, hoping to start a war between the company and the Union. He killed him in an act of rage induced by the phasma semiochemicals.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years, 70-something?
A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason, said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
It's more than that. A perfect folding mechanism like the phasmid. It's way more than that. It will win me Dora back. It's my masterpiece. They'll teach us in cop school. I did all I could. Every second was a struggle.
I've never doubted you can pull yourself together and work. In bouts. Bouts don't last.
He buttons his jacket.
I can still smell the booze on the wind.
Gosh dang it, doesn't it ever leave? It is there, like in your bones or something. It will pass in time. Probably don't want to say this, right? I mean, this is not relevant, right? Well, we can talk about these two, because this will probably talk more about the Pale, which I'm interested in, and then I don't know if I guess this is relevant in that we solved the murder case, but also took care of this.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in the boardwalk. Drunk.
How did you know I found him?
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still,
She says quietly.
good work with the missing person, detective.
Oh yeah. There's still a point for you, no denying it. Look into the mystery of the Doom commercial area.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is.
Curse turned out to be possibly entroponetical, part of my larger investigation into Martinez himself.
I'm 100% sure it didn't turn out to be that. You know, cut the amateur anthroponetic to meet him in a whole shit. This isn't Paradox B. We're a police force.
It doesn't look like the lieutenant wishes you to push this angle further, darn it. Cut it out is indeed what he's thinking. Okay, fine. So what do you want to say? Want to take this hot stuff back?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder.
He shrugs.
So I have to. Jude?
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
A quick nod. Oh yeah.
Public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Yeah, I'm too awesome.
Okay.
He sighs.
We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Wait, I have a few questions before we go about who I am. The man looks westward impatiently. Jingling his car keys in his pocket. Who am I?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
What?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but
But before.
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron.
She looks around.
It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
A guerrilla soldier slash gym teacher? That does explain a lot.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping,
The bicep girth.
your inexplicable facial hair,
The collection of fallen sportswear I've amassed.
some of your more old school social views. Your moves on the church floor, which honestly were just jump aerobics.
Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy. Oh, the physical instrument. Yeah. And this guy too. Gosh, even this javelin throwing freak here. Oh gosh, contact Mike.
Of course. Contact Mike.
he's been on about Mike again. I hate that guy.
The detective shakes his head. Of course. Contact Mike. The way Kim said that was hilarious. Contact Mike is a reprise of the most inspiring basic sporting principle of open competition. A 5,000 to 1 rank outsider. When was this? One outside gym teacher.
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then.
He looks you over. You said in Quran I was a gym teacher there?
Yes, you taught gym in Coron. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue and the worn floorboards. Why did I join the RCM then?
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope. Okay.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
No normal human being can run like that. Why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage. Some chick who? Was she called Dora Dubois?
Dubois.
She shakes his
It was
head.
Dora Ingerlund, I think. You've said her name. But you weren't married. You were engaged.
Dora Ingerland?
Something like that. Half Vasan.
So we weren't even married.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
When was this?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago? She was way before my time.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it? What the heck is wrong with you? 6 years? It couldn't have been 6. 3. Let's go with 3.
No, it was 6. Like ancient. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Ingerlund really tore you a new one. A big one.
Yeah, or 7. You're not doing too good here. It's an old man thing. Who was she?
Incredibly bangable.
Huh?
She was extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Payne Welkin.
I've only seen a picture. But it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
She turns to face the sea.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first. The middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
Okay, am I a dirty cop or working for La Puta Madre?
No.
Oh, no, because the suspects seem to think.
You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
Makes sense.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
I told you it's not that bad. Precinct 41. The Phasmid, I need to tell Lena about this.
Who is Lena?
A cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock, Tabernacle Road. She told me about this Phasmid.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on
Oh,
my
nice. She looks at Vicar Madre.
Fine. If we're gonna drop you off anyway.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
She's going to be over the moon. Watch out, or she'll faint. Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now?
Well, First, I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol.
He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the lenses of his glasses.
I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Distant traffic. A scrape of newspaper drifts by, carried by the wind. It says, tensions rise in Terminal YC in light of DeBarter's strike in Terminal B among representatives of heavy industry in Coal City. You want to do that at Station 41?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering.
No, I meant investigate. Come work in Precinct 41 with me.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
A crooked smile quivers on his lips. Would fit in and crazy enough, can take the stress. He doesn't know how to finish the sentence.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
Lieutenant turns very serious all of a sudden.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
She says with a smile.
I do like the sound of that.
He returns her smile. Achievement unlocked. Recruit Detective Kim. Yeah! Precinct 41. What kind of station is it?
Us? We're the bloody murder station. Haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station, and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
He tilts his head northward.
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good.
Okay. Torson and McLean?
Mac the Torso Torsen and Chester McLean.
Stretches
Not
an
fit to
eyebrow.
run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
And the sea wing is.
God.
He sighs.
There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me.
He smiles.
Other losers too.
He's anything but a loser. Although he would like to be seen as one, it's cool that way. And Price is...
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May. Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance? I don't know if we need to say that.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivachol. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over.
He says in a
Jamrock is lucky
sheer
to have
tone.
it, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
I'm ready.
Good.
She looks at you and then, Vikmar.
Fuck it, let's go.
The man
Sounds
points down
like
the
this motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
The man points down the street. Under the evening sky, the great district turns on its lights. A chessboard of wooden houses. 80,000 living souls inside. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, top the motorway, to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue Saint-Jerome, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Hiddleston? No. Vikmar? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in the office and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minot, of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
The woman looks north. Aw, Kim! We patted him. Are we all getting in together? I guess that's since that's my old partner. Ooh, that's the end! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Woo! Oh my gosh, and this song is good. I like this song so far too. I mean, I've listened to the soundtrack, so I think I know that I recognize the song, but oh man, oh so good. I love this game. Everything about it. Gosh, so good. And it was really interesting. I'm happy that I think we like went really deep into learning about the Phasmids and stuff, and all that turned out really interesting in the meeting the Phasmid, and I think I went through all the choices. I didn't hesitate, even though it was kind of scary because I was afraid that Phasmid was going to run away. But then learning about the Pale and then coming with the logic of like where the 2mm hole came from and stuff was interesting. And then there's just like a lot of tidbits that were interesting to find on our own that we did, like how the Phasmid was saying that the existence of humans is like where the source of the Pale came from. So somehow those or the Phasmid inferred that somehow those two things existing were related, which is kind of fascinating. But yeah. Oh, but the song is so good. Yeah, and definitely you get a real like good you make a real attachment to Kim throughout the story, I guess. And I'm gonna turn down the volume a little bit because the guitar kind of makes it hard for me to think while I'm trying to think of what to say, but we kind of noticed it, obviously, when he was missing and he wasn't there. But it felt really empty, but also it was, like, less immersive without Kim being there, because you're just reading the thoughts to yourself, but it was nice when he was there, because then he would chime in, and then obviously the voice acting being there helped. But, like, whenever he had something extra to add to, like, whatever conversation we were having, it was more immersive in that sense where, like, it's you and the person you're talking to, and then Kim also, so it's kind of like a circle of people having a conversation, not just like you're talking to this one person in your head. So that was nice. And yeah, like Kim's personality is a good juxtaposition to your own, which is kind of cool. And it makes all those like really ridiculous choices that you can make even more funnier. But what makes it even better is that it's not like he's not stiff about it, right? Because he says he's like this kind of like introverted, like more like straight arrow kind of person, but in fact he lets you do whatever, even though he's that way. He's just like, oh well, like I don't really approve of this, but like you do you or whatever. And then there's even like little moments where you can get his real personality out, that he's not hiding behind his professionalism, like when he does the dance and things like that. But it's fun seeing those little moments. Because, like, you can really... It feels like you can really trust him when it counts. Like, when you're really trying to figure things out. Because he is a serious person. But then when you want to do something random or crazy or, like, spontaneous, he's still down for that too. Which is really cool. It makes for a lot of good moments. The other thing about the pail was that I found it interesting that how the Doom commercial area thing was like kind of related to the 2 millimeter hole in the world and how those kind of connected in a sense. There wasn't any factual evidence behind those two things being affected by each other, but it was just interesting to hear that those things too were related, and I didn't realize that before. Yeah, there's so many, like, surface level things that you, like, learn about from watching, when I watched other Let's Plays of this game. So you kind of understand how everything works at a surface level, but if you really dig deep into it, like we did with the phasmids and, like, the pale, what's the word I'm looking for? The pale especially. Like, that's something I was really interested in, so I'm glad we learned more about that. Like, there's so much more to, like, the world that they developed, and, like, there's so much detail in every aspect of the Disco Elysium universe. But yeah, I think after this, as a little extra, I want to try doing the, going back to day 5 and maybe waiting until night and not clearing the ruby thing, and then maybe we can try going to the book club. And I'm guessing that that's where we're going to be able to play the board games with those other the college kids. So I think I want to try that. And I don't think reading the books will take too long. Maybe it'll take another hour, which is perfect. I wonder how long these credits are. Well, I'll leave the credits rolling, I guess, and I guess I'll take a little bit of a break in between, and when I do the YouTube video, instead of cutting it out, I'll just place a chapter marker at the end of the credits. So if you want to skip this, you can just go to the chapter marker in the YouTube video. But yeah, I'll take a break and drink some water and stuff like that.